Just in time for Black History Month, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has banned an AP African American Studies course in Florida schools. Governor DeSantis, who's already passed the so-called Stop Woke Act to clamp down on diversity curriculum in schools, says that his rationale for banning this course is to protect the children.
We want education, not indoctrination. This course on Black history, what's one of the lessons about? Queer theory. Now, who would say that an important part of Black history is queer theory?
Now, DeSantis says that discussing topics of queer theory or reparations or intersectionality, all these equate to political indoctrination of students. Now, despite this course being carefully developed by the College Board over the course of 10 years, Governor DeSantis' administration says that the course lacks significant educational value. And it's probably this claim that's the most insulting to Black people and our communities. I expect a lot of things from a governor, but weighing in on our history, whether Black history has that educational value, that is not one of them. What's next? Are we asking Ron DeSantis whether he prefers micro braids or locks, or whether grits are better with salt or sugar? Respectfully, Ron, we don't trust your opinion. Now, all jokes aside, I could spend the next few minutes unpacking how disturbing it is that a non-Black man is blocking learning about Black history in classrooms with Black students, using teachers in schools as political pawns to score points, but instead I'll just stick to the facts, since that's what DeSantis and his crew claim is lacking in this African American history course. So let's start with this fact. In 1988, Japanese survivors of World War II each received $20,000 in reparations after the government sent them to internment camps and unjustly took their property. This is part of U.S. history, just as the movement for reparations for enslaved Africans goes as far back as before the Civil War. It's just history. Ron DeSantis should also know that despite saying queer theory has no place in an African American studies course, some of our most notable Black thought leaders were members or part of the LGBTQ+ community. Bayard Rustin, who planned the 1963 March on Washington, he's one. James Baldwin, the acclaimed author and civil rights activist. Audre Lorde, the writer, feminist, and equal rights activist. I mean, it's just history. Ron DeSantis should also know that it's in his great state of Florida that civil rights activists Harriet and Harry T. Moore, who were school teachers and sweethearts and also NAACP leaders, they registered thousands of Black voters across the state in the 1940s, helping to distinguish Florida as the state with the most Black registered voters of all the southern states. That's an honor for Florida. And in 1951, the response to their great work was the KKK firebombing their home, murdering them on Christmas night. Now, the FBI investigated, and of course there was outrage, but no one was ever arrested for their murders. It's not pretty, but it's just history. Ron DeSantis, if you want just the facts, there is a lot to work with. Even if this AP African American Studies course is revised as you recommended, the facts alone won't prevent children from learning the most painful parts of America's past. It's more divisive to suffocate this knowledge, to not let students learn from the country's mistakes or envision a greater America, or to even debate how much we've grown and what actions we can still take. Mr. DeSantis, you, sir, are hurting children when you keep them in the dark, only to enter a fantasy world that doesn't always jive with this bubble of America that you've created. America is the land of the free, an ideal which your party, Mr. DeSantis, says means the world to them. So aren't children and their families allowed the freedom to pick this advanced placement course for college credit if they so choose? Mr. DeSantis, you may block access to knowledge, but as the great MLK once said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And when they write the history books, this will go down as an educational injustice. And that's the point. Thank you so much for being with us. As always, we hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you next time on theGrio Weekly.